All right, and we are back with a really nice video. This is the Pult Alakazam. I am confident in the build, so we finally get a post with it. If you hear any little ringing, that is my cat. She got a new color, so she is very much enjoying just playing with that color. So, the point of this deck is very much all threats, all engine, and use every part of the buffalo. So we have 3 copies of 4 lines of both, well, of all the pieces for the Alakazam, and we are running a 3-3-2 line for Dragapult, and all the other cards basically overlap. Because of this, we can actually get the deck to be a 1 prize and force the play with our opponents, where we can actually be in front. But it is sped up a bit because we're trying to get through a lot of games. I'm trying to reach Arceus here. As you can see, it's very consistent because there's lots of draw power. And you're able to find all the pieces you want. And on top of draw power, there's also a lot of card selection that gets us quick wins. Like you can see here, I'm up to Dragapult, and at the same time, I'm also building our Alakazams on the bench. And with the Alakazams on the bench, we have just drawn a bunch of cards. But then we also have some threats that are also on the board. So you have to decide which threat you actually want to deal with. Are you going to deal with the Dragapult that's in front and running you down? Or are you going to and then get run over by the 2 Alakazams after the Pult? Or are you going to try to deal with the Alakazams because they're smaller, but Dragapult still blowing you down? And there's a when you first on your bench, which is an easy prize, but if you do that, you haven't dealt with the attackers. So not the most fun position to be in the play against. So pretty good. Good for me anyway. And in this particular match against a traditional Alakazam, you can see that he's failing horribly. And I chose to take out the Abra because again he has to try and recover those. And once we get any prizes by taking out 2 of his Pokemon, it's pretty much given. Because right here, if he takes out the Dragapult, would be even, but I get the next attack, so I should be ahead in the prize race. Let's see how good his luck is. Bad luck. So let's continue. So we're ahead in this prize race. And we have seen pretty much every card in our deck, so we can just go right off of this and start setting up threats in the back. Oh, too bad. That's it. Draw engine dead. You just set up our 2 Alakazams. Now let's set up our Dragapult. And just like that, we are golden. Oh, that's surprised. I didn't realize. So now we could fully see that there's no way he could win. Yeah. We could be boss because we could just take something and kill. We could bring back our Dragapult if we need it. But yep, new upper, so we could do a surprise knockout. And there's our win here. As we will just boss up something. Kill one at the back, and we win. There we go. Upper. Alright, so that's one easy. And with that, we will move on. So let's talk about the specific side deck, the strengths and weaknesses. So as you can see, strength side deck is all the drop power and all of that. But there's one weakness to the deck, which is disruption. Another disruption used against you, but the deck doesn't have any disruption in this current build because on a spectrum of speed, power, and disruption, the deck has the speed, it has power, but excuse me, no disruption, meaning we can't actually get rid of cards from your opponent's hand, but it isn't necessary because you're trying to kill the Pokemon or board wipe them before they get the chance to. So it doesn't really matter what tools you have if you don't get to use them. This is a tough one because, especially in this type of matchup, once he gets the Chemite, it makes him attack for 90 on the active on the bench. Once he gets Darmanitan, once he gets Darmanitan active, we are in trouble and we don't really have any other plays right now. Let's lock him off items and that maybe will help us for a little bit. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I think that's it there. Yep, can't do much. Take a Budew, but he's going to evolve the Darmanitan and then board wipe us. So again, we don't have protection. So we pull the Shaymin, where Shaymin was actually prized. So luck I draw. Can't do anything about that. You just take the quick loss and then you'll move on. So we are doing 3 rare candies because again we can go from the Abra or the Dreepy straight into their stage 2s, both of which are very effective. And we are running 2 copies of the Drayton because the Drayton also helps us find rare candy and put multiple Pokemon in the deck. So 2 for 1. Because as my big features of the deck, most of the supporters replace themselves and find something else as well. So it's a lot of value. I mean, look for an iteration deck where I get a couple of control pieces in because I notice in matches like this rock match here, where they use the new rock energy that protects their Pokemon from effective attacks, it kind of makes us stutter. On top of that, it actually shuts down the Alakazam part of the deck, similar to what happens with Mist Energy. So we need to have an out for that. Either way, this build is still pretty strong, so I'm not too worried about it. We still have our 80% win rate. Even if we lose this match, it'll be fine. Yes, he didn't notice the German tower. Fortunately for me, I didn't notice that he used that special energy. So at some point, I'm going to forget, I'm going to attack, I'm going to completely biff this game. I'm a bit quiet because I'm just waiting to see how this shakes off. A little bit of concentration there. But again, like I said, I didn't notice the special rock energy. So I'm going to attempt to knock it out or get it close to being knocked out using the Alakazam. And again, those special energies that protect my attacks, they ruin the one prize play of the deck by shutting down the Alakazams. So we need a way around that. And I'm thinking enhanced crushing hammers. So I'll play a pair of those, but we will have to playtest that. For now, it is just to play around it. And unfortunately, in this situation here, I did not. But we'll do what we can. We had one win, one loss, so let's see if we could just make this up. And this where complete mess. Yep. But again, in these situations, what you need to do is actually play around them. So start trying to take two prizes, set them for two prizes with their bench Pokemon, so you could win over that. Unfortunately, I played that first to draw cards, thinking I could kill, and I couldn't, meaning that I'm in a position where I shouldn't have been in the first place. It's fine. We start setting up. Two hits will still kill, and we get out all three prizes. It's pretty damaged, so we can at least try to knock both of those out. Then another attack from another Dragapult, we'll be able to secure at least advantage in terms of prizes. Again, you know, it's in the trend, he has a lot of cards in hand, I can't do anything about it. Because Judge isn't conducive with this deck, because if we shuffle in all cards, we'll be defeating the purpose of playing Alakazam. And most Alakazams don't play too much disruption, maybe a couple 0-6. I will also try to add a 0-6 to the deck, so that even playing something rogue like the Dual Blade, we'll be able to at least get something off. Because even something similar to Hand Trimmer would be bad because it makes us discard as well. I'm trying not to discard or just lose cards from hand in terms of value. Again, I think it's a lost cause, but we'll still fight for it. That's an easy 3 prize. Again, let's see if he has the enhancements. That should be a wrap if he has it, so that's game there. It's fine, we'll wrap that up and we'll get into the next one. And we'll see how best we can handle it. Hopefully volume isn't too bad here. I just adjusted the speaker a bit, so we'll see. Need to see as much cards as possible. Again, the strength I deck is the speed and consistency, but that's taken away with some of those special energies. So we'll still try to keep that up. But as you can see, GG. Second Dragapult dead, and that's it. Because again, we can't really win the prize race there. Because that's stupid rock energy. But we'll keep pushing. Because again, I'm not too far from Arceus. Just a couple games away. And I want to reach Arceus this video, so we'll try again. And you'll see decklist on the side. I definitely will post it. Because it's a pretty fun deck. This has been two challenges I've entered, and both times I placed in the top 8. And my losses was due to either luck or me misplaying. In the debut for the deck, we actually did pretty well. That'll be at VRG Games, where we placed either 6th or 7th. But once it's not like top 4, I don't really pay too much attention. And in the top 8, I actually just had a hand where I had only the Abra. So basically got dunked, and that was the end of it. Nice. So it's an easy win. That'll take us up. Just need a couple more, and then we'll be set. That's not that tough. You can do high canvas. Looks like a good setup. So it should be the deck that's playing Regigigas to try and kill Terras. And the game plan here would be to just keep Dragapult until the last possible moment. We don't mind that he has resistance to grass, so Digipon just locks off, it doesn't actually do damage. But some cards in hand will take off first prize. You'll see how it is. Pull the Pokemon out to turn this deck, then you get draws. And that's what you like to see. Again, the draws and card selection is amazing. And just like that, 7 hand, that's 140. Bar for bar. And because it's not Terra, we should be able to just dock the Regigigas and exchange prizes. But unfortunately, he can miss with those Metangs. So if he misses, he'll be too far behind and he'll just lose. I do plan on going up in the Dragapult until the last minute. Let him think that this is just a Alakazam deck with a Dreepy engine. Because that's what he's playing. He's playing like he's not expecting a Dragapult. And unfortunately, in these situations, always expect a Dragapult. There you go, more draw power. Again, this is just a crazy amount of card selection. We love it. It is so fun to play. You have a lot of versatility because it gets very supported in my hands. I could simply try to find the boss and kill one target. I can just slowly run them down. They can't chase the prize race. And if they do get rid of one, we can bring it back. We have Rare Candy. We have an Alakazam. It'll actually make us draw more. So instead of stacking them on each other, we actually just have them working hand in hand. Because no portion of the deck is stronger than the other portion. And Alakazam and the Drakloaks like support each other so well and also gets around one of the problems, which is Crustle. And all this Pokemon that Dragapult can't get over and some of the bigger megas, we actually could do it with this deck. That'll be one of the chief driving factors with this. If we keep the game in a one prize race, it usually goes really well because they don't get a chance to catch up because they have no possible chance to. Mm, come on. I find your opponent's taking a long time to actually play out some of these matches, but we'll get it eventually. We're going to bring it. Yep, there we go. I think he's waiting for the Alakazam and hoping that he could just hit one of our Alakazam, sorry. He's waiting for a Dragapult so he can hit the Dragapult, take 2 prizes, and hopefully win, but hell unfortunate. We won't be doing that. We don't do that here. More cards. We have both our Dreepy set up and we have both Dragapults in hand. We're just not going to give him the satisfaction. Nice. And again, even if you think the deck is going to deck out, so we have multiple copies of Lillie. Lillie is to draw in a pinch, but most times it's actually to return cards to the deck, so that way we don't deck out. Because in this deck, I'm not even worried about going down to like 2 cards in deck, because I have too many in hand. I will simply play Lillie, return most of them, and I guess we usually have all our threats set up, so that we aren't worried about anything and there's no out for the opponent. Unfortunately, I keep playing the Fezandipiti, and that gives the opponent a chance to win the prize race, and is a skill I have to work on. I don't understand the development with some of this, but we'll see. All right. And we are now in Arceus, and you can see the deck in the comment. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.